Okay, the time being 7 o'clock, I'll declare the meeting open. The Town of Walkerville would like to acknowledge the Kaurna people as the traditional custodians of the land we're meeting on today and respect their spiritual relationship with their country. We recognise the many generations of stewardship the Kaurna people have provided to this land and respect that their cultural heritage and beliefs are as important today as they were for their ancestors. So present at the meeting is there as set out. However, Councillor Williams hasn't arrived yet, but otherwise all the councillors are here and staff in attendance is as set out on the screen. So other than Councillor Williams, sorry, not Councillor Minton, there's no one not present. Are there any declarations of interest for tonight?
I'm can I mention that in this? My husband's on the bowling club committee, so I'd like to, for general interest, I'll stay in the room and I will speak.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. And Councillor Williams has arrived, similar one.
Conflicts of interest? Yes.
Conflict of interest?
So mine is with the, sorry, I haven't got this open yet, with the 39 Smith Street site. As I live next door to it, I have a general interest, will remain in the chamber and vote on the issue.
Okay.
I think I've said everything I need.
Thank you. Councillor.
I might just add one, a general interest to item 4.1, just in relation to myself being a SAPOL manager. Undoubtedly we'll be discussing SAPOL matters. I will stay in the chamber and vote.
Yeah.
Anyone else? Okay, so with that we'll move on to item 4, which is decision reports. And item 4.1 is the Benson Court incident, of which we are all familiar. There has been a little bit of movement. I'll ask the CEO to give an update first, and then I have an update as well.
Thank you, Mayor. Today I have received a phone call from the Minister for Housing, the Honourable Nick Champion, who has requested a meeting with the Mayor and myself, which will take place next week, to discuss some of the measures that he intends putting in place in relation to this incident and more general, and also to allow us a chance to talk to him about some of our ongoing concerns that we've experienced. I've also had a conversation with SAPOL, who are also keen to meet with us next week as part of our quarterly catch-ups that I had arranged with SAPOL, which gives us a chance to discuss this incident as well as a number of other matters that we wish to raise, as well as outlined in the papers, a number of proactive measures we're looking at doing. Ideally, we would look to do those measures in conjunction with SAPOL and potentially the Housing SA or Housing Trust.
And I've had a number of correspondences from members of our community who have been impacted by this event, either the event on the night or over a period of time prior to the event. I've also received correspondence from a person in our community who would like an additional paragraph in the letter to the Minister, so I'll just read that out and we can then decide when we come to the decision whether or not we include that in the letter. So the additional paragraph would be that the state government develop and publicly release a clear, time-bound action plan to address antisocial behaviour and resident management at Benson Court and share this plan with Walkerville Council. This should include specific interventions, timelines and accountability measures, drawing on lessons learned from the Mellor Court experience to ensure that actions are taken and outcomes are delivered. So, would the Council like discussion on this matter and to suspend standing orders, or are we happy to move to resolution, just debate in the meeting procedures? I think.
I'm comfortable with that.
Comfortable?
I'm comfortable with that paragraph. It makes total sense, I think. It's common sense.
I'm happy to hear that.
Okay, so So do you just want to amend that motion to include the paragraph as just read?
Does anyone else? Do it?
Do you want me to move it?
I'll move it.
Oh, you move it,
You
yeah.
can move it.
Do you want to speak to it? Do you want me to move it? I'm happy to move it. Sure, I'll move it with the additional paragraph as read. I do want to talk to it as well because I know from my time, and I'm probably speaking on behalf of everyone here, we know that we've had regular incidences where I've reported issues to staff, I've reported a couple to the police when I was a candidate. This has been an ongoing issue. This is not and it's great that the minister's reached out, but I think it's sad it's got to the stage where a murder has occurred for this to happen. That may it be. I'm pleased that the minister has reached out and the SAPOL have as well. But this has been an ongoing concern. We've had residents raising issues well before, even in the last term. During the election, there were many reported to myself of incidences where drug issues, hooning vehicles, foul language, reporting past break-ins. This is not something that's just happened overnight and it's just an out of the blue incident. This has all been stemming, and I'm not, as sad as tragic as this murder is, I'm not surprised that it's happened because all the issues have been leading for something like this to happen. And I know that the staff have a SAPOL contact and have been in contact over time, reporting issues to SAPOL. But unfortunately, it's tragic as this is, it's taken this to now lead to action. And I think it's sad because I know that the staff have been raising ongoing social housing issues, and there are a lot of good residents there as well that have even been reporting things saying that they're concerned with the behaviour of some of the fellow residents as well. So I feel really sad for the people that are there doing the right thing as well, and I feel sad for the residents surrounding the location that have had to endure these type of issues that have led to this. So I really hope that something does come of it. I'm very supportive for including the paragraph because words are words. I want action now. I want these issues actually properly followed up because it's just unfortunate that it's got to this stage, and it's tragic as that incident was. I'll leave it there. I'm happy to sum up if I need to.
Councillor Trotter?
Yeah, I will second it, and I agree with exactly what I've had a lot of community members contact and very concerned about the antisocial behaviour that seems to be increasing in Walkerville, and really concerned for their children being able to walk the streets, and being able to go for a walk of an evening has become quite difficult for some people in certain parts of the Walkerville. So I firmly believe that this is something that needs to be addressed, and I would like to see a time frame put on it because I feel it's in our whole term that this has been an issue, and that we have raised it clearly that the community want to see a safer environment here.
Do we have a time frame in the letter at the moment? I don't think there's a specific time frame.
I don't think there is.
I'd like to see a time frame.
And
I would
make
also
an
like to
amendment. Sorry, do you want to make an amendment to the resolution then? I'll come back to Councillor Core in terms of time frame.
The logistics of it, I know that it's going to be difficult to get a time frame, but I think we need to put something in there so if it passes a certain 6-month period.
In 6 months.
Because if it does pass that, then it goes on to will it go on to our register?
Yes, it will be a resolution, yeah. 6 months too long. So 6 months for...
To have every...
to be completely resolved in an answer, because I'm assuming that we're going to, well, it should be really 3 months.
3 months, I
Probably
think,
as a
to have a
standard
plan in place.
ministerial, I know from experience, a ministerial will take at least 3 months to come back, so you could put 3, but you might not get a full thing, so I'm just saying.
I don't think you should put a time.
Don't.
Ministers don't appreciate that sort of.
Well, we need a time frame to follow up on
Well,
it.
we can do that.
Yeah.
I don't think
We
we
can
should give the
chase
minister a time frame.
Yeah. Okay. Councillor Core?
No, I'm happy with the movement and the statement. Councillor Reed-Lang, totally second for the statement. It's very heartbroken, and the issues is increasing day by day with our area. And I would strongly recommend that council should take some serious steps and try to resolve all the things that we can stay in the safe place, like in our hometown, and if we can implement some principles like crime prevention to environmental design and putting some lights on the streets, because the visibility is very poor, and we can reduce the opportunity for the crime if we can install some lighting and good visibility to incident can move.
Anyone else like to speak?
I've just had a quick read, just on that first page on point 3. It reads, participate in a roundtable discussion with other agencies, stakeholders and councils to determine strategies to address community concerns. And we could potentially put on to the end and case manage individual cases, because that's very broad, and then that brings to the table particular people of concern, and I would like to think that 80% of our problems are caused by a very small minority of those groups. So potentially putting on the end to address community concerns and case manage individual cases or something similar.
Would you be happy with that amendment?
I'm happy to incorporate that, but and knowing the council deputy mayor's experience of that helps, I'm happy with that addition.
So just to add it into the resolution, then add the words plus at the end of the third dot point.
At the end of dot point 3, it reads, to address community concerns and case manage individual, I'm looking for another word other than cases. Circumstances. Individual, or we're looking for the people.
Situation? Just individuals?
Yeah, case manage certain individuals.
Identified individuals?
Yeah, that's good.
That's it.
What was it?
Individual.
Identified, did you say? Identified.
Identify individuals.
Yep, that's great. Thank you.
Yeah.
Anyone else like to speak to the motion? Councillor Ninke.
Just a general question. Just with the paragraph which I'm supportive of, how will you insert that into your letter? Will you quote that'll be from a resident, or are you just going to try and...
No, I think we'll just incorporate it in as a fourth dot point to the letter.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah.
Anyone else like to speak to the motion? Okay, I'll put it to the vote.
Can I just
you'd like to sum up?
very
Yeah,
quickly?
sure.
I just want to thank everyone for their contributions, and particularly for the residents here tonight. I just want the residents in the gallery to particularly know that we're obviously taking community safety incredibly seriously. We've got $121,000 odd funded in the next budget coming up to address community safety. Community safety patrols, CCTV. We've got a community safety grants program we're putting in, so we are taking these matters seriously and putting words to action as well. And that all followed up from, that I guess pool of budget and what we're doing followed up from our community safety forum. So we are putting those actions in. So seek your support on this one.
Okay, all those in favour? That's carried. So item 4.2 is the Community Engagement Charter submission. Gallery is free to leave whenever they wish. Thank you. Andrew or Sarah? No, Sarah.
Sarah's an apology, Chair, so that means I'll take on having had some dealings with this topic. This has been going on for a long time. Came out of a court case a number of years ago that they needed to adjust the way councils and strengthen some of the community engagement, because the council did get caught out doing more than they should have, but not to the letter of what they said they should have been doing. This has been going for 4 or 5 years. The Minister made an announcement that he's actually looked at the charter and actually put it out for consultation after all those years. The comments made from staff are more that the sector's been saying for a long time, that as we saw on Monday night when there wasn't too many people turn up to our annual business plan, that things have changed, and this council in particular has very bespoke consultation we undertake depending on the topic involved, and to get too prescriptive can actually hand tie us in what we can do. We do a lot of consultation, whether it be surveys, whether it be letter house drops, depending on what we actually want to get an answer to. From a sector point of view, fairly disappointed that there's still requirement to put things in a news publication, just the cost involved in that, while I think the local government is trying to stretch the definition of what a publication is. I think there'll be challenge in court, which is actually what we're trying to avoid too. So we've put in a submission that basically addresses a couple of those issues, and particularly emphasising that consultation needs to be fit for purpose and not be too prescriptive. We know our community better than anyone else, so we know how to consult and engage in them effectively. So I propose that we send a draft letter that's attached to the report as our submission in relation to the proposed community engagement charter.
Any questions on the report? I just have a question. Do you think we should be saying that there was a council resolution regarding it, just to strengthen this? Because at the moment it doesn't refer to a council resolution.
We certainly can. Yes, that would be appropriate.
Do you need that in the resolution?
No, I could put it in, given it's coming from myself. Yep.
Any other questions? Okay.
I'll move the resolution.
Thank you. Councillor Vanstone has moved it. Seconded Deputy Mayor, I think, Councillor Conroy. All those in favour? That's carried.
That's everywhere now.
So item 5, confidential reports. Item 5.1, the major projects scope variations. Right, we have a number of scope variations to deal with.
Yep.
So I think we'll first.
You need to go to
sorry.
confidence.
Yeah. Sorry. Thank you very much. We'll first start by moving into confidence. There's a mover. Please, thank you, Councillor Zeppel. Seconded, Councillor Trotter. All those in favour? That's carried. So the time being 7:18, we'll move into confidence.